All right, guys, here's the tea. Here's me not gatekeeping, because I feel like this is a question that friends and family feel comfortable to ask, but not a lot of people in my normal life do, but I feel like everyone's a little curious about it. So I hope it's not too complicated. I feel like it's very individual and very personal, and everyone has their own different rates. So bear with me as I explain all of that in this video, as well as my recent new favorite makeup look that I discovered because it's all of my essentials that I just packed with me for like a 12-day vacation in Mallorca, and I just got back yesterday. So this is the makeup look I'm going to be doing in this video, and I just feel like it's fresh, it's radiant, it's foolproof. I took a photo of myself like 8 hours later and it still looked perfect. So I'll show you the makeup in this video, and I'll also explain everything and how much I make as a model living in LA who's been doing this for 10 years. So let's get into it. I keep getting harassed about my skincare routine, and you guys want to know all the things about my skincare routine. So this is my cutie little bag. None of this is sponsored. This is an ad. I feel like you guys always think I'm lying to you and it's paid, and I'm like telling you what I am getting paid to say. I will literally never do that to you. I will only tell you the things that I truly love because I care. Don't need to sell you things. I just promote things I really care about. So anyway, this is my parallel bag, and it's fun because it flips. This is what I packed with me on my trip in terms of toiletries. Everything has its own little perfect compartment, which I love. But let's go with the skincare base that I took with me on the trip. I have this Awakening Under Eye Gel from Caress. In the morning under the eyes, it feels incredible. I got this bottle probably 3 weeks ago, and you can see how much of the product I've already used. I just can't get enough of it. It's like a hyaluronic acid spray from Iris and Romeo. Also from Iris and Romeo, this was like incredible for my trip. It's such a perfect daily like glow serum because it's kind of like a moisturizer, but it's not oily. It says cream to oil serum, but if you have oily skin, it's not like a super thick serum that sits on top, but it's also not like a moisturizer, and it doesn't leave a weird film, which I love. Models are all basically freelance, and you can be signed by an agency, and the agency works for you at the end of the day. So their job is to get you bookings and to get you work. When you sign with an agency, you're also signing up for them to take a percentage, obviously, but they don't get their money unless you work. So it actually works out in the end for your advantage to have an agent. Also, without an agent, I feel like you might get used and abused, and like they have the contracts and the writings and make sure you get paid on time. It's just a security, and I also feel like I've booked so many better jobs by being with an agent versus if I was freelance. I feel like I would just be doing low rate, not great jobs. Like if you're represented, the higher clients are going to book you through your agency. It's kind of just how it works. If you were thinking about actually making real money modeling, you kind of have to get signed, in my opinion. And I feel like a lot of people would agree with that. This is one of my holy grail SPFs that I've ever found. It's the RMS Super Natural Radiant Serum SPF 30. It has a 20% zinc oxide count, which is huge, and it doesn't leave a white cast, instead makes me super tan. This is in color medium because again, the tan, but you can just go with the lighter color. So in the United States, modeling agencies all basically take the exact same rate. And if they don't, you should be a little bit weary of them because that's just kind of standard practice that they're gonna all take 20% of whatever you make. If my day rate for a model, let's just keep it a simple number, is $1,000, my agency will book me for 20% more than that. So if I was the client and I wanted to book a model and I go through an agency, I have to pay 20% more than the model's rate, which is $1,000. You have an agency and then you have agents. And the agency makes that extra 20% on top of your rate. And then within your rate, the $1,000, they also take 20% of that, which is for the agent who booked the job. If you have a mother agent, they will split that 20% based off the booker and the mother agent, and that is pretty standard across the board. Iconic, best foundation I've ever found in my life because it uses a concealer and it's small and compact and it doesn't look like anything on the skin, but it covers everything perfectly. The Merit Stick in Color Sand. Consider this in your mind or in an account somewhere. 20% also for taxes. And because you're an independent contractor and you have a 1099, you can write off literally everything. You still have to pay a ton of taxes. And you do write off a lot, but obviously the more you make, the more you have to pay in taxes. Accounting for that every time you get a check, if like I get $1,000, but it's actually $800, and then it's actually only 20% less of that. So at the end of the day, it kind of starts to like dwindle down quickly. I'll also tell you how you can make more money as a model. Based off off of experience, you know, if you have an agency that you work with and you're newer, they're going to get you in the door with like super fast e-com days that are generally wholesale clients that aren't great quality, that are really fast fashion, kind of like grunt work. Like it's hard work. You're tired. Like you've changed your shirt and modeled 25 times an hour. Insane how fast you move, and it's just like hard work, but at the end of the day, it's still a check. At the beginning of my career, sometimes you'll get booked half days, and I will never forget this one wholesale client I had was so bad. I love this Tarte concealer. This is in Also Sand. I'm just gonna put the tiniest dot under my eyes just to conceal a little bit more. I was doing 2 half days a week, and that was basically my only booking that I had, and I was getting paid $400. So take $400 minus 20%, minus 20% for taxes. I wasn't really taking home a lot, but over time, week after week, you end up making quite a bit of money, you know? So if you're gonna travel somewhere and model outside of the United States, let's say it's China, let's say it's Japan, like wherever you're going, the agency fees are all different. It's not 20% everywhere. You're gonna work all the time, but for less money. I brought one contour and one bronzer, the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in color Biscuit. And then when days I didn't really want to do like a full contour because I'm going to the beach, I would just bronze up with the cream contour from Tower 28 in color Getty. So how much do I actually make from modeling? It's very inconsistent. So sometimes I'll only work 1 day a week. Sometimes I'll work 5 days a week. Sometimes you get like a really big, awesome shoot, and then they end up buying out the usage, and then you get more money. I just did a campaign for Fabletics, for example. Months later, they're like, hey, we want to get the buyout for that. We want to put it on a billboard. We want to put it in a mall. Your specific day rate is different from a lot of other models. Depending on your city, is dependent on what kinds of jobs you have. Something that can help your rate go up is if you go to, you know, London or Mexico City or somewhere and get tears, which are magazine pages or covers. That will make your rate go up a lot. And that's something I never did. It will just kind of make your portfolio or your almost resume just look stronger. It will make you look more impressive, and it will make your rate skyrocket. I took 2 different blushes with me. This one's the Makeup by Mario in Pale Petal, and I use this the most. And then the Ciele in Bahati. So I'll use this one just to show you. It just gives you like a really beautiful blush color. And actually, a couple times I was like out and about for hours, and I came home and I was like, do I still have blush on? Which, you know, that doesn't usually happen. Sometimes you like put the blush on and it seems to be the first thing to go. So I was pretty impressed by that. If you were to be like me, for example, I never did the tear sheets. I never really worked out of the country. My rate is just kind of based on my agent and I's relationship and the clients I already work with and the clients I cast for that see that I actually know what I'm doing. I have been modeling for the past 10 years in the makeup chair countless times, in front of the camera countless times, on set so many times. I've modeled so many different things, so I kind of just know how to do it, which helps obviously so much whenever you are going in, and obviously too, like your look and how you present yourself in the casting. It's like, we're gonna pay $5,000 for the day. You better show up looking like you're worth that, you know? So it's about the effort you put into yourself. They can tell through your skin, through your body, through your hair, how well you manage yourself. If your nails are done, that's a big thing. Obviously, you want to represent the amount of money you want to make. And I would say modeling has made me a much more aware of my physical appearance and like constantly needing to be on. This is the Makeup by Mario powder in Fair Pink. It's one of those things in my life where I'm so grateful for it because it's brought me so much health and awareness to my physical appearance, which can be good and bad. In the beginning, it was really hard to manage, and now I'm really grateful for it because I wouldn't know how to be healthy, or I wouldn't care about my physique as much, and I wouldn't put the time and effort into it like I do now. I always have to represent the person who's going to sell the clothing really, really well. So if I let myself go, if I don't show up right, if my hair looks bad, if I'm hungover, like whatever it is, you're getting paid so much money. So it's just out of common courtesy and respect to like honor that and like know that you're showing up to a job where they're paying you a ton of money. Be on top of it, be grateful, be professional, show up with personality. I've been loving this brow pencil. It's the Brow Pop from Kosas in color Taupe. So along with your your personal value from your portfolio, your experience, your agency, where you're located will all depend on what your day rate is, but also what will depend on your day rate is the usage. The usage can change everything, obviously. If they're going to do, a year usage in store, print, online, e-commerce, which is pretty typical, 1 year, and that will determine the rate. So it's pretty standard, I feel like. One of my clients will do a $2,000 day rate, and then they will have option for buyout later for $4,000. So you would make at the end $6,000, obviously minus 20%. Basically, that's kind of like how it would work if you were to get a buyout for usage, which we love a buyout. Sometimes I'll just be sitting on my phone and I'll get an email and I'll be like, hey, so-and-so wants to use your images. Here's an extra $5,000. And you're like, great, I didn't have to do anything for that. This is the best brow gel I've found in a really long time. It's the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and it's amazing. I just brush them up and they stay in place and I don't need to set them down. It doesn't leave a crusty film. I brought a couple things for eyeshadow. So the NARS eyeshadow stick, the Tarte eyeshadow stick, and the Hourglass. We actually also had a wedding in Mallorca to go to, so some of this makeup is like for different events and occasions. This is the Curator palette in Idealist. I really just like mix these two, and sometimes I'll put a little shimmer on the top as well. So overall, what I make generally living in LA, I feel like the day rates in LA are pretty consistent. A typical day rate for like a normal, nicer brand, generally like $2,500 to $3,000. I feel like some other models might have more than that as a base rate. That just seems to be like the normal going rate. And I'll say yes to days that are $2,000, and I will say hell yes to brands that want to pay me $8,000. They're generally more in like the $2,500 to $5,000 range. I've been doing this for so long. This has been my only source of income for 10 years. Ever since I graduated college and quit my job at Olive Garden in Ohio, I've been modeling and I've been fully stable by doing my modeling stuff. The most tricky part is taxes. If you don't work for a while, you're kind of reliant on that check, and the check can sometimes come and be like really fat, $26,000 check, but it can be, a month or two before you see your next one because they have 30 days to pay you. Sometimes they take longer than that, but it depends on if your agents are on it, which gratefully mine are very on it. This is the gel eyeliner from Rare Beauty, and I also have the liquid eyeliner from Rare Beauty. I'm not gonna wear eyeliner today, but that would be the eyeliner look that I would wear. Ugh, mascara. Obsessed with these. I brought 2 mascaras with me on this trip and I was so happy with them. The Westman Atelier mascara in Clean Black I use the most. And I also brought the Maybelline mascara, which is the Sky High in dark brown, and it's waterproof. I was in the water, in the ocean, fully submerged, jumping in all day long, and not a single raccoon moment. My mascara stayed on. I came home and was like, is that a full lash? So if you want a good waterproof brown mascara, get the one from Maybelline. Don't waste your money. You don't need to. What I will say is that this is a more expensive mascara, clean, non-toxic, and one of the best that I've ever tried. I just think the spoolie is incredible. You've heard me talk about it a trillion times. I talk about it over and over again. You have to know I mean it. So I would say more months where I make more, and then sometimes I'll have months where I make less. All at the end of the year evens out for the most part. Looking back on my life as a model, I am incredibly grateful for my career, the opportunities brought me, the health in my body from just needing to be on all the time. Favorite part, lips. I brought 3 with me. I brought the Refi lip in Opal, such a pretty, these are all pretty similar in color, is the Opal. And then I brought this one, which as I put them side by side, they're literally the exact same color. This one is the Makeup Forever lip liner in Wherever Walnut. And then I also brought this one from Kosas. I loved these 2 because I didn't have to think about sharpening them and I could just have them in my bag whenever. And this is in color Unbuttoned and it's so pretty. They sent me their whole kit of stuff. So anyway, this all brings me to my YouTube channel and why I started it in the first place. I love modeling. It's brought me a lot of experiences, but I wanted more. It's not like that fulfilling. You are getting paid to look good, you show up, you shoot the clothes, which are probably 95% of the time not that cute, and then you come home and you get your check. And it's a good job, but it's not really a career that you're gonna keep a hold of forever. I started this when I was 19, 20. I don't have any regrets, but I also feel like I'm kind of like ready to move on to the next thing, which brought me to social media. I have sat in the makeup chair for so many hours, so many days, countless. Favorite lip, Prequel, SPF 30, Rose Dust. So good. So moisturizing. It was perfect for on the plane. I feel like I just get that minty tingle and my lips just licked and felt so stinking good. So that's what brought me to my YouTube channel. I have learned so much from being on set, from being healthy, from needing to look and be a certain way. And also, I've just always had a fascination with makeup from watching YouTubers back in like 2006, doing their videos and their tutorials, and I've always wanted to do it. And now I feel like more than ever, I have enough credibility to actually do this because I learned the tips and tricks from the professionals, from my years of modeling, from sitting in the chair and literally watching them do it with their whole spread of product and watching them and how they work and how they see my face as a canvas and how it can be interpreted so many different ways. Obviously, each client has a different ask, and it's usually a no makeup, like very natural look, which is probably why I specify in it a model off-duty, try less hard look personally on myself. Like, I can't wear a ton of makeup super well, so that's why you'll see the really natural looks on me because I just prefer them. I think it just looks really beautiful when your skin can look like skin and be perfect. It's like very model-esque, you know? For my highlighter, Power 28 highlighter in No Shade. Brought it because it's compact and just easy to use. Just gonna put a little on the high points of the cheeks. Overall, love my job. If you have any other questions about modeling or things that I didn't mention or specify, please let me know. If you model in another country, maybe comment how things work for you there. I don't think I have anything else to talk about, which is good because I've been rambling on for so long. I probably have nobody else watching at this point. So like and subscribe, comment any questions you guys have, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.